Hello, this is Landon Beard, and this is Reflection 4 for lab number 4. Um, we'll get started. The first thing I did was familiarize myself with each of these images of what the index, the about us, and the contact pages were going to be. Um, Immediately, I copied the chapter 3 files and already assorted them into each of the files that they need to be before I even began task 1. But they all managed to get to the rescue file with a subfolder for CSS and images, and all of the files being on their own over here. Task 2 and 3, very simple. I just linked the CSS styles page. I added in within each of the index, the about, contact, and template files the link, which I'll scroll up here to show it, within the head element right here below the meta character set and above the title. For each one, I'll go ahead and scroll to the top and show each one. The index file and the template file. Task number 3, I updated my name, the date, and file name within each of the files. Then I went back into the styles sheet to install the CSS reset. I failed over and over with this one. Within the textbook, it was showing me a different way to do it. I did have to go back to I believe it was chapter 3 to see exactly how to do it. I'm not sure if I was just looking to the wrong chapter or what. I did struggle with some time to get this. I don't believe I actually got it done until the final task was done, and I went back and saw that this one was incorrect. Moving on, I then added a blank line after the reset, and then created a body and IMG selectors with the background color and the max width display for the IMG. And I moved on to the 6th task, in which I added the proper comment for the style rules for navigational area, and then made many different style rules, nav, ul, nav li, nav lia, each corresponding to where they're going to be linked into the other files. I went through and created each of these rules, the list style, margin, text align, display, font size, font family, font weight, colors, padding, and taking away text decorations. Then I went to the index file and I updated the nav element to have a ordered list for each of these links. And once I created this one within the index file, I just copied and pasted into the rest of the files. It seemed to work very well. Once I uploaded the actual web pages, they seemed to link together very well to one another. I was very confused about what it was talking about when it said add link like after this, but I realized that it meant within the styles .css file. So I went back to it, created a new comment for the main content, and then for each of the main selectors, I added in the listed elements. It was very easy, got it done very quickly. This is the one that I had the most trouble with. I tried to research this one over and over. I really don't know what I've done wrong, but we can go through it real quick. This is why I got a 98 instead of 100. I was okay with the grading. If you could make a video or perhaps just send me a message of what exactly I did wrong, I'd appreciate it, because I'm really just not sure what is going on. Anyways, after the main content, we'll scroll down here, I made style rules for the class and the ID selectors. And I did struggle with these because I had to go back in the textbook and realize that you had to use a period at the beginning for these to work properly. I need to study up and know exactly why that was needed. But I just created the class selectors for the link, action, and contact, and installed each of the elements within them. And I went back to the about HTML file and I added the class attributes, removed the height and weight, or the height and width attributes from the tortoise image, and then added another class attribute into the text down at the bottom. Am I in the right one? Yes, I'm in the right one. Right down here where it says, did you find an injured or orphaned animal? I'll see real quick into the task number 8 what I failed. I'll position this right. It said add a class attribute with the value of link to the anchor element within the text National Wildlife Rehabilitators Association. I remember this giving me trouble on the last lab 2 last week. For some reason, I'll get this into a better view. I can actually use the word wrap. Okay, that's strange. There we go. So it said to add in a class attribute with the value of link where it says National Wildlife Rehabilitators Association. And so I assumed that it would be within the link right here to add into it. I'm not sure. I tried it within the paragraph right here also for the paragraph element, and it did not let me pass either. So I'm really not sure what exactly I did, but I guess in the future we will see what exactly I did wrong. That is the only task that I did miss though, but quite literally it was the only part of the task that I missed. Like I said, 98, hey, that's a good enough grade for me. Moving on, go back to the styles.css file. Creating style rules for the footer content, which was the last one that I did within this file. So I just created the footer and footer A selectors and added in all of the elements: text align, font size, the background color and text color, the padding elements, and then for the footer A, color and taking away text decoration. And for the last few tasks, we went back to the index file. I removed the heading elements that were within the header element. And then I nested the image element within the header and wrapped the image with the anchor element that links to the index file. It wasn't working before. It was not uploading the actual image before, but I did not miss the task. It did use it the very first time, but before I started creating this video, it was not uploading it. So, well, for the last task before I check and see how they build, the last one go into the contact file, added a link, class selector with link into the anchor elements. Where exactly did I do that at? Oh, down at the email. I'll just scroll to it and show that I did it. Right here, after the email, added a class link right before the text. Okay, so I'll do the index first. I'll show this within the browser right here. Like I said, the baby hawk picture is not showing up, but it wasn't showing me that I did it wrong within the task list nor within the actual coding. If there's any chance that you can give me some feedback, show me exactly what I did wrong. I promise that it was uploading whenever I initially finished this yesterday or the day before. I'm really just not sure why exactly it's not working. Maybe just because I'm loading into the browser right here. But as you can see, everything has been updated. Colors have changed. I'll show the about page first. Picture of the tortoise. Colors have been changed. And the last one, the contact. Okay, the contact page. Like on all of them, the baby hawk picture was not showing, but everything else seems to be working just fine. And that'll be it for lab number 4 and reflection number 4. Like I said before, if there's any feedback you can give me to show me exactly what I'm doing wrong, I'd appreciate it. I'm starting to feel very good about my skills within HTML and CSS. This is the second semester now that I've been doing this. I'm feeling pretty good with my skills. I feel like I know my way around the coding. It's just polishing up on minor issues such as links, div ID stuff, anything like that is what I'm struggling with at the moment. But the textbook is helping me to understand it, and more interactive work that I can do, more coding always helps along. I've tried to do some coding on the side through other platforms just to polish up my work. But any feedback is always appreciated. And that'll do it for this video. Thank you very much, and please let me know what else I can do.